Diddy settles the Cassie lawsuit in less than 24 hours. Has the monster been exposed? What up, world? Your boy Charles Brown back again talking facts. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe. Hit that notification bell. Head over to CLBMG.com. Here we are, bro. When I first saw the headlines of it came across my screen, Diddy accused of sexual assault, right? I low-key, I didn't click it immediately. I didn't even pay no attention to it. I was like, wow, let me process what's going on, because you get a lot of accusations. You get a lot of headlines, splashy headlines. Oh, this person got accused of this, that, and the third. So I didn't click it immediately. I think it took me 2 hours to even care, right? Because people say these things and then they recant or what have you. And there's been a lot going on with a lot of different celebrities. So I was like, I'm going to let this play out. I'm not even going to click it yet. Let me let some more news develop. Fast forward, I start going on Twitter, because that's where you get everything. And I see that it's Cassie. And I see that she's accusing him of assault. So I'm like, all right. I start thinking, okay, this Diddy, it's possible. Like, maybe it's like she's over-exaggerating. Maybe they had a rough night of sexual intercourse or what have you, and he was a little bit too much, and no. As I start to read the details, and I start to get involved with what's actually going on, because now it's starting to become a real story, right? It becomes the onset of a deviant behavior, which let's be honest, we already knew Diddy had deviant behavior. But this is the difference. It's always been a joke, right? It's always been haha he. Diddy is a closeted bisexual, but we don't really care because it's Diddy and we expect it at this point. We've been seeing the low-key, like, not necessarily rumors, but stories of Diddy behaving in a way that you would expect a kind of curious bi dressing. What do they call that when they say, like, it's when you kind of dress a certain way and you act a certain way. It's a little effeminate, but you expect that from your Hollywood entertainment types, right? The personalities, right? You kind of expect a little flair. Let's say that, right? So we've always accepted it. I want to say for 15 years or more, we've given Diddy a pass. We've kind of hee-hee-ha-ha'd and kind of like let him have his way. We've heard these little inklings of these parties that get a little too wild. And we've seen these videos of them getting a little too close, right? A little bit too close. And some of these things he said has been a little bit suspect to us straight males and otherwise, right? But we've always hee-heed it. In steps the Cassidy situation, and we've always wondered we thought it was a normal relationship because Diddy comes off as a normal guy. We've always thought that it's been, all right, she's young, she's chasing a bag, she's after the money. Diddy's a billionaire for what it is. And we see what she sees in him. There's always been this age difference that we've always, like, why would a woman this young be with a man? He met her at 19. Diddy was already in his 30s. First of all, why would a 37-year-old man want to be with a 19-year-old? But that's neither here nor there. I don't think they really got together until she was 20 something, like in her early 20s, 21, 22. But at the end of the day, he met her at 19. I believe he signed her to a 10 record deal contract. And we're going to talk about, listen, I'm going to be here for a while because there's so much to touch on that when you get to the end of the story, it all makes sense. But Diddy signed her to a 10 album record contract when she was back with the guy, what was his name? Rich, I can't remember his name right hand, but he did the Pop Champagne guy, right? And I'm bugging out. But she was with him. Brought her to Diddy some kind of way. Diddy took a liking to her. That's important because we got to talk about that later in the story. Diddy took a liking to her. This is all allegedly. I'm going to say this right now. Allegedly, Diddy took a liking to her and had to sign her. Signed her, right? And put her on this impossible 10-album deal. You can't get out of a 10-album deal, especially when the person giving you the deal is the producer of the albums. He can just stall out and make you wait and have you on that forever, or somebody come buy you out. Puts in a 10-album deal. Stories are coming out now that when he got her on the deal, he wanted to take her. I think it was it Ron something, whoever the guy was, this famous guy. And I got a lot of respect for the guy. I just can't remember his name, right? He was with Cassie, but Diddy wanted her. He allegedly made some fake party down in Miami, a fake flyer and everything, to get her to come to Miami without the guy. She gets there and it's no show, it's no this and that, yada yada. Long story short, Diddy starts pumping her allegedly with all kind of drugs. This is all in the lawsuit that they just settled for $30 million. That begins their love affair or whatever kind of situation they're in. This fake party that Diddy said she had to perform at just to get her away from her man. This begins a spiral of you're the boss and you are now in a relationship with one of your workers, which is why that is almost always destined to be a problem. So she alleges that Diddy puts all these drugs and alcohol in her body and gets her drunk as hell and starts having his way with her. And this becomes a pattern. She actually does get with him, which is some people want to say, you got with him though. You know what I'm saying? You became part of his harem of females or what have you. But it becomes clear to her that Diddy is super jealous and starts to cut her off from different people, saying she can't discuss this and discuss that with anybody. He starts cutting her off from her friend. You know, this is the pattern of abuse. And the reason I'm going to start to break this down in a certain way, because some people want to believe she did this for money. And certain things you do for money and certain things you don't do for money. And to say the stuff that she's saying has to have some merit to it, because for one, Diddy does vehemently deny it through his attorneys, right? But he also paid it. So let's be clear. What people are going to say is, oh, you settle lawsuits so you don't have to go through the court system and have all the stuff exposed. That is true. Many people will settle a lawsuit in advance so that they don't have to go to court and be damaged by the information leaking out. You settled it early, like 3 million, 10 million, whatever it is. I'm going to give you that. I'm just going to get, whether I did it or not, I'm going to give it to you. So we don't go to court and you damage my reputation forever, right? But the people that do that, they do that before it goes to court. Before the lawsuit paper's drawn up, before it's leaked to the public, they settle it quietly, right? She has the lawyer that actually got Harvey Weinstein where he is, because he took a lot of clients that were accusing Harvey Weinstein and won their cases. So that's who she has, is that super lawyer that already proven his track record against alleged male abusers, right? The Me Too movement, this guy was a part of that. So he took the case. So that means there's this is merit to this. The details are matching up. The timelines are matching up. And somehow, some way, oh shit, this shit. And somehow, some way, Diddy didn't understand that this chick was really going to come out with whatever she said she was going to do. Now, what you do in the situation, you want to get in front of that and pay it before it drops. Diddy didn't. Diddy waited till it dropped and then waited 24 hours. See, what I'm going to tell you is, to me, that's an admission of guilt. You can't say I paid her off to settle it after it already comes out into the public, because at that point you already had chance to pay her off and you refuse to pay her off. So that means either you're innocent and you're going to fight the charges. You don't let it drop, then see that the public is eating it up and it becomes a disaster, a public effect, a public relations nightmare. Then you want to pay her in 24 hours, everything she already asked you for behind the closed doors. To most people, that's not how the law works, and that's an admission of guilt. And we know that Diddy already knew that this was coming. You don't drop lawsuits and your team doesn't know that this is coming. Some would even say, and myself included, that the whole I'm giving back your publishing stunt but you got to sign an NDA to get it, was a preparation for this. He gives everybody back their publishing. Oh, we kumbaya. I want to make this right. I'm going to give everybody their publishing. But to get the publishing, you got to sign an NDA that says you can't speak about me at all in any kind of way. And a lot of them did it to get the publishing back. But the girl, Aubrey O'Day, I believe her name is, from Danity Kane, was telling them, don't sign this NDA and don't take the publishing. Because first of all, he should be giving you the publishing just off GP. You shouldn't be having to sign NDAs. But she also was saying that you're not going to be able to speak on this, which means you're not going to be able to address it. You can't write a book about it in the future. You can't address it in the media when they're asking you. That means he's silencing you. You're being silenced. And I believe, and a lot of, excuse me, other people believe that Diddy was using that publishing stunt to silence these people because he knew that this lawsuit was coming. Now, I say, if it's me and I'm Diddy and I didn't do this, we just had a freaky relationship, we had the little freak offs and you was consensual, then go ahead and put the story out, right? Now, if I don't want nobody to know that, I'm going to pay for it before you even drop it into the court of law because they tell these people before it goes there. But for you to wait till it's dropped, hit Twitter, hit TMZ, hit everything, now you wait 24 hours, now you're scrambling. You already had 30 million. Ain't like you putting it together. You had it already. To me, it tells me you were waiting to see how the public reacted. Now, if I'm innocent, I'm gonna let it drop and we're gonna take it to trial. Right? We got quite a few people who took it to trial. What's the guy? Jonathan Majors. Right? It went public. He got fried in the court of public opinion. Real quick. Couple months down the line, they reversing the charges and they're charging that girl. And he's back working and it's looking like, okay, maybe we was wrong. We rushed the judgment. Diddy let it drop, and in 24 hours, the public crucified him, which a lot of people already have funny feelings about Diddy, and we're going to get into that in a minute. But there is, in my opinion, there is absolutely no way you let this go public when, one, you have the money to pay for it, right? For two, you knew in advance that it was coming. And for three, if you're innocent and you don't want your reputation ruined, you don't let this go to public. My opinion, 90% of this stuff, this is 90%, and this is only an opinion. 90% or more of this is absolutely 100% true. What about this thing that you heard that you didn't believe? Let's just start there. I want to know to the people who think that this girl is lying. First of all, I can look in her eyes and tell she ain't really all that self-confident about herself. That's one. Diddy used this record contract over this girl's head for 13 years. And at some point, she got so afraid of this guy, she felt like she couldn't leave. That's a cycle of abuse. That's what an abuser would do, a groomer would do. He groomed this girl when she was young. She's like, he's having freak offs and he'd make me find BBC male escorts, book them, come back to the room and have sex with me in front of him while he's masturbating. Right? Who in here don't believe that that's true? You don't believe that that's true? You don't think Diddy's freaky enough to want to see her get it smutted out by some dude while he yanking off in the corner? You don't believe that? What about Diddy makes that not believable? And I'm not trying to disparage his name. I'm just having a conversation with you. I have hard conversations on this platform, right? What about that? What about Diddy's past makes you think that he wouldn't be controlling of this woman? A billionaire with a whole bunch of money, throws parties, loves lavish lifestyle since the 80s, never been broke, never told no. She said his whole staff is at the beck and call, everything he needs. What about this doesn't make this feel right? What about the Kid Cudi situation where she said that he told her when she got with Kid Cudi and during their on again, off again 13-year relationship, when she got with Kid Cudi, he found out when ballistic, said, I'm going to blow this man's car up. And lo and behold, his car got blown up. What do you not believe about that? Sound legit to me, sound like Diddy to me. Over the Diddy that we've known over the years, we've heard Diddy been a hothead. What kind of guy could have survived Suge Knight being your worst enemy? You think a cool, calm, very calculated and humble guy would have been able to deal with Suge? The whole industry was scared of Suge. And you're the one in his crosshairs. Suge could walk up in there at any moment. Suge walked up in everybody's office and when he felt like it. Why he never walked up in Diddy's office? I want you to think about this. You ain't never heard of incidents where Suge walked up in, because Suge was in New York every freaking week, walking up in all offices and doing this and that. Why do you think Diddy got the courage to go to he's in LA all the time, even at the height of the beef, he was there. Why do you think that? You got to move a certain way to be that kind of ballsy, bro. She said in the court documents that she was with Diddy one night and he got wind that they were in I believe in LA, and Diddy got wind that Suge was at a diner. He jumped up, started getting all these guns, all this weaponry, and bounced out the house because he was going to catch Suge. That don't sound like a scary dude. That sounds like a dude that's ready for war. And then think about it. If one of these rappers do that now, we call him dumb. But Diddy suited up, ready to go body somebody. Allegedly, right? This is a different kind of individual. So, you know, if he looking for Suge, he damn sure ain't scared of this little 22-year-old girl. Right? With the freak offs. He's doing freak offs. She said that he get all these male escorts together and freak off. And they got to have big giant BBCs, right? They always call it Hollyweird for a reason. And I don't really care about these dudes' preferences of what he like, men, women, both at the same time. I don't really care. But on my channel, I always try to lean toward, and I don't want to be cliche and be like protect black women, because that's really cliche, because a lot of people say they don't really mean it. But I always say I was raised by a single mom, and I'm going to war for my mom, right? I'm going to war for my mom. And I remember feeling like my mom wasn't in the most favorable situations with some of these goofballs she was with. So you're never going to hear me taking a side of a guy that's literally sex trafficking a black woman somewhere and making her and forcing her to have sex with him and everybody else in the room. I'm never going to ride with that. I'm never going to ride with that. And when it seemed like a dude is this low key off kilter with what he does, I'm going to tend to believe it, right? We all believed R. Kelly. We knew R. Kelly wasn't right. We knew that. But we also loved his music, and we also didn't respect black women like we should have at the time. Most of us saw the tape with him peeing on the girl. Let's be honest. A lot of you guys, including myself, we saw a grainy, very, very grainy tape. But R. Kelly is very distinct. He has some distinct features. And a lot of us knew that he did it. And we didn't care. Because for one, we didn't care about black females like we should have. And for two, we didn't care about celebrities' dirty deeds like we should have. And R. Kelly went years and years after that. He didn't get in any kind of trouble until the documentary came out. And it's a different era now. If you listen to this girl's testimony of what Diddy did to her, Diddy is worse than R. Kelly. He's worse than R. Kelly. R. Kelly is sitting in maximum security right now for deeds that he's allegedly and not allegedly have been proven to have done to these young females. Right? Some of these girls agreed to be with R. Kelly and was dying to get back to him, going out of their way, like trying to get him freed so they can go back to their little fantasy life with R. Kelly. Now, some may say Cassie could have walked away at any moment. Well, yeah, they all could walk away. But when this guy finding you every time you leave, if you listen to the affidavit, every time you leave, he's finding you. It come beat your ass, stomp you out, kick you in the face, punch you in the stomach, slap you, and then make you go to a hotel room for 5 days so the wounds can heal. It's kind of a little bit different when you got money like that. We got dudes right now kicking in girls' doors and killing them in the hood that ain't got $1 with a restraining order. This dude had big money. He could put you in Saudi Arabia for a while, let you heal up. I'm listening to this. I'm listening and I'm following this story. And it all add up low key when you think about the stuff you've been hearing about Diddy for years. Kim Porter was allegedly abused. Kim Porter was allegedly smashed her face on the table because he heard that she was sleeping with some other executive that ended up running Def Jam after Jay-Z left. Allegedly, they got together and he grabbed her head and smashed it into a table and broke her nose. And this is the baby mother. And I don't know, none of this is true, but I'm just telling you that there's a pattern. Right? And this time, Diddy probably should have got in front of this, because the fact that he let this come into the public for a difference of what amounted to, they said he wanted to give her 10 and she wanted 30. So for the difference of that 20 million, your reputation is done, cooked. I want to see him on the Breakfast Club now laughing and kikiing with Charlamagne. How that's going to really go this time. How that's going to really go this time when you're on the Breakfast Club and Charlamagne is asking you little light questions and then he kiki and laughing. It really ain't going to go the same this time. Let's be honest. I don't think you can get on there and laugh and kiki at this point. It's going to take some time out of the public eye. Let's be honest. A little longer than Will Smith was out of the public eye. It's going to take more than a year, because these tough questions are going to be brutal. They're going to be brutal. Like, so did you really punch her in the face multiple times? Did you kick her in the stomach, in the head, in the mouth? Did you hang her friend off of a balcony? We can't laugh this this off too easy. This is demonic, sadistic behavior. This is a monster, bro. Let's be honest. And I know a lot of you guys your male boys club instantly kicks in. Anytime a female says something, you're riding with the homie. Right? You're riding with the homie. I don't do that. I'm sorry to tell you. I'm not going to ride with the homie that's stomping and kicking, because that could be my mom in there. Right? That could be my sister that he's punching in the face and blacking her eye. And you riding with the homie. I don't ride with the homie. Right? I don't ride with the homie. I'm going to ride with what's right. And if she's right or wrong, that's determined by what really, really happened. A lot of people don't understand her taking the 30 million. I saw this girl on Twitter. I think her name is Daphne. And she wrote the goofiest post, and I commented on it. And she ended up deleting the post because everybody was like, but she's like, oh, never mind, gang. She settled. She took the money. This is why I don't believe. And these women. And she was just going basically on and on. She has a big following. But she's going on and on like Cassie did something wrong. Like, here we go. You got to take this stuff with a grain of salt. These women, da da da. And I'm like, sis, and I get it that you got a big following for being like a proponent of blackness and whatever, but you got to actually be understanding what you're saying. Because she didn't do nothing wrong. She put a not defamation, she put a pain and suffering lawsuit. And she asked for 30 mil. Wasn't criminal. It never was criminal. They got a whole investigation on another level, but this wasn't criminal. She said, enough with the pain and suffering. I want a bag for it. Since you gave me 13 years of nothing, you put out one album and you put nothing else out on me, and you've been holding me hostage for 13 years. I feel like that's worth $30 million. And if the cops arrest you for whatever, that has nothing to do with what I'm trying to do right now. She got the lawyer and she got the bag, $30 million. And now they're going to make it like she wasn't telling. It was a money grab. But if you understand, it is a pain and suffering lawsuit. The amount was $30. He settled it in 24 hours. She didn't do nothing wrong, bro. It wasn't to convict him. She didn't fall back and say and recant for the 20 million. No, because that's what Harvey Weinstein people did. They all got their bags too. He did it. The guy did it. He had a pattern of behavior. So she sued, just like they sued. All the white women in the Harvey Weinstein thing. They got their millions. He had to pay it. It didn't get him out of jail. So this case was never about jail. So the people that don't understand that are taking it like, oh, she settled. She sold out. Well, she sold out. The whole case never was about jail in the first place. It was always a pain and suffering dollar amount case. And sometimes people deserve a dollar amount because you can't give her nothing else back. What, are you going to give her 10 albums in a row? Come in the studio. Come on, let's work. What else can she get other than the money? So I need y'all to understand that this was never about locking Puffy up. That probably going to come later. And for all of us that started to feel like, damn, this Diddy thing about Keefy D and Tupac, I kind of felt like, yo, at this point, leave it alone. But at the end of the day, if you're this kind of human, you're calling hits and you're blowing up cars and you're beating women and you sending goons after her and this and that. At some point, you're acting like a mobster. You're running with Crips and paying them to do this and that and the third, snatching chains. Like at some point since the 90s, you've been behaving like a mobster. So at some point, mobster behavior comes back on mobsters. It is what it is. So I don't know what to tell you, but at the end of the day, Diddy has been behaving like a monster. And this brother love thing, I was funny about this in the beginning anyway. Anybody that has, and it's going to be mass specific, anybody that has brother at the beginning of the name and then put love at it is trying to hide a whole lot of shit. I'm just going to be a buck with you. I'm going around, I'm brother love. It's to me, brother love. I'm bringing all the love. Nah, we ain't messing with that negativity. We want the love. Hey, get over here and get this love. At some point, that is the most suspect person in this whole room. The guy with the robe on talking about, give me love, brother love. I'm brother love. Yeah, that's what you going by now? I'd rather have Puffy. At least I knew what Puffy was. Right? Puffy. Puff Daddy. We knew Puff Daddy wasn't no joke out here. He was trying to be what he was trying to be, and he didn't care. He wasn't trying to, oh, I'm brother love. He wasn't trying to, some spooky, goofy shit. Right? End of the day, right? I feel like me and you have enough evidence. You know how they say, you don't really know the person. You never met them in real life. You can hate somebody. They hate me. They don't even know me. Right? You know how Diddy, they hate me. They don't even know me. But if you're in the public eye for 25 years, your deeds are being spoke on for 25 years. Your actions are being recorded for 25 years. Your misguides, your misgivings and your discretions are public for 25 years. We saw what happened with Shine. We saw what happened with J-Lo, right? We saw what happened with the football coach that you bust in the head with the cowbell, right? We saw the anger spats. We saw that you didn't he slap Drake or punch Drake or something over a beat? We've seen the mismanagement of just the distribution of cause and effect. It'd be something small and it'll turn big. We've seen it all. So for anyone to believe that this was a money grab, yes, it was a money grab, but sometimes that's all you can do to hurt these guys. Some of these guys got so much money that nothing hurts them because they can block it all until you take the money. Some of these guys, nothing matters but the money. And that's how you handle people like this. So salute to Cassie for doing her thing and getting her bag. Now, my thing is, I feel like we have been exposed more than ever before to the inner workings of a deviant. They've been saying for years that this Hollywood scene it has deviants and monsters and all these things you got to do. Once you go through that door, you're going to have to do all this freaky stuff. They've been saying it for years. You can't get to the next level without doing all this freaky stuff and doing it. And we see it now. She pulled back. Aubrey O'Day been trying to tell us for a minute. But we look at that, we kind of like, wow, she's saying some crazy stuff, and we believed it, but we never heard the ugly side of it. Like, we accepted Diddy's freakiness. We accepted it. Diddy saying, hey, daddy, like that. We accepted the freakiness. The little parties where 3 men are hugged together. We would see a picture, laugh, make a meme, da-da-da. But we didn't understand the sex slave part of it, where this girl couldn't leave him. And every time she tried to leave him, he would send somebody from the staff or whatever to go grab her up. And then when he catch her, he beat her ass. That's the part that's not fun. Right? That's the part that's not cool. And if the only way she could get redemption was to get $30 million out of him in 24 hours, then so be it. I just want to see how this goes forward. I want to see where this goes. Because we got Tory Lanez in jail for the most, let's be honest, he shot at her foot, but that was the end of that. This wasn't 13 years of trafficking her around, making her sleep with men she didn't want to sleep with, beating her ass, and keeping her away from her family and threatening her friends, right? Blowing up cars and making sure she can't even speak to other music execs because then she gets another ass whoop. So the simple fact of this not fun. This ain't love, right? At some point, this is a crime. And we're going to see where it goes with the police. I am going to say on my note, I don't feel like Diddy's going to face. I believe he has too much money. He got way more money than R. Kelly ever had. I believe if Kelly had more money, it'd be a different subject. Diddy got way more money than R. Kelly. I don't think Diddy's going to really do any jail time. I would be very surprised because his lawyers are too strong, and he's going to discredit this girl very badly. But it don't even matter at this point because he settled the lawsuit. What's going to happen is they're going to investigate it. It's going to be too many people that's scared to talk. It's going to be too many NDAs that's thrown into the way of the mix, and it's going to be too many people getting paid off. But we'll see where it goes. You let me know what you think in the comments. CLBMG. I'm going to catch you on the flip side. Make sure you go over to CLBMG. Support the affiliates. Click those links at the bottom. Support. We got all kind of stuff for the lifestyle. We got clothing. We got alcohol. If you into that. If you're not in that, we got workout gear. We got all kind of stuff over there. Make sure you go check it out. Skullcandy, headphones, ShotsBox. We got Brutal Buddha. A lot of good stuff over there. Just make sure you support the links at the bottom. As soon as you get to the page, we got music, dog. We do everything. We got the shows. The What Show is getting bigger than ever. The Mixdown Show, CLBMG. Yo, go check it out. I'm going to catch you on that flip side. Peace.
CLB.